Hello! Welcome to this next bottle episode. Thought I would try wearing my bandana with like the open flannel kind of look. I'm liking it. And if you don't like it, then well, screw you, I like it. Before you confusedly go rushing to the comments, yes, there is a reason why this is a bottle episode and not a Q&A, and it's out a lot earlier. I would like to explain in song. Sometimes life likes to really suck. Lots of things going on and your head is just a muck. For a little while there's some things you must admit, 'cause they'd only otherwise be steaming heaps of shit. Pretty much just, yeah, I haven't had a very good week this week and the Q&A would not have been very good. So I put all I've got left into this bottle episode. Like the most creative thing I've done all week was that song. So hey, at least you get the bottle episode a bit earlier this week. So, back to the bottle episode. One of the most popular things I get asked is, hey Pocari, how do I make friends? How do I meet furries and be friends with them? Well, if you're one of those people who have been asking me that, or asking yourself that, or asking someone else that, then this is the bottle episode for you. The fandom is a great place to make some lifelong friends, but it can be very nerve-wracking and very hard to, go up and talk to people. And it's also very tempting to go to all your favorite fursuiters and all your favorite artists and go and beg them to be your friend. But how should you go about making friends? I have found that the best way to make friends from my own personal experience is to go to furry meets. That's why they're called meets, because they're furries and you go and meet them. Furry meet furries. Meets are nice and casual, so it is the perfect environment to go and make some friends. Like, you don't even have to do much. A lot of people will come up to you and say hi and get you introduced to everyone, but it is also good if you can take the initiative yourself. You can also use common interests as a way to introduce yourself, like, oh hey, wow, I love your Pikachu bag, oh that's so cool, where'd you get it? Or, oh your badge, that's really cool, who's the artist, can you tell me a bit about your character? Like, just random stuff like that. Just pick something that you like that, they have, and that is a good sort of conversation kind of starter. And since it's a local meet, every time you go, it's going to be the same kinds of people, so you can keep seeing them and keep talking to them, and you can invite them out to things, and then you just keep on building the friendship from there. Don't stress about whether or not you think people will like you. From all the meets and things I've been to, loners have been quite rare. There's always at least one other person there keeping them company, so as long as you're a nice person and you shower daily, people will be happy to talk to you and hang with you. Seriously, please shower every day or at least before you go to these meets, because I can't tell you the amount of times people have come to say hi to me and then I've just been like force-filled, pushed away by their stench. Like, how am I supposed to talk to you if I can't stand within 10 meters of you? Another thing I get asked a lot is, how do I talk to people when I'm really socially anxious? Now, there's nothing I can say to magically make that go away, whether you're just socially awkward, or you got full-on social anxiety, or some other mental illness that is preventing you from being able to talk to people easily. I can't fix that, alright? There's nothing I can do or say to make that easier on you, and especially when I don't even really know you, I'm not gonna know what the best method for you is. Your best bet is to bring someone along that you already know, whether they're furry or not, just a friend that you might have already, so they can sort of help you be comfortable and help you, introduce to people. They might be like, hey, this is my friend, what's he face, he's a bit shy, but he's new to furries and he just wants to meet some people. Like, find someone that can really help you. If you don't have any other friends, firstly, I'm sorry to hear. Second, you can go to whoever's organizing the meet, they should hopefully be there, and just be like, hey, I'm new to this meet and I'd like to meet some people, but I find that very hard. Can you like introduce me? And I know just asking is easier said than done. So you really have to dig deep, take a deep breath, and try and take that courageous step forward no matter how hard it is, because it's always that first step that is the hardest. As soon as you know one person, that person is going to be able to introduce you to more people, and those more people can introduce you to even more people, and it just dominoes from there. So please, for me, take a deep breath and just make that first step. You can also meet people online beforehand, so go to the Facebook page for your furry meet. That's where you're going to find meets, by the way. I think Facebook is the best choice. And then just make a post, be like, hey, I'm Butts the Wolf, I'm new to this fandom, I'm gonna come to the meet for the very first time, so I want to introduce myself to some people, but I'm not very good at that, so can you please come up and say hi? So again, finding meets are easiest to find on Facebook, that I find. So you go to the Facebook page for your state furry group. So I'm in Queensland, so I go Queensland furries, or well, probably more specifically Brisbane furries, and that takes me to the SBFM page, which is the local furry meets, and then you can find all the events and things from there. If you know anywhere else where it's good to find furry meets, please let me know in the comments below, because I hear a lot of people saying Facebook also isn't the best choice, but I'm like, I've never heard of meets anywhere else. So please do inform me of the alternatives and I'll work them into future videos. If there aren't any meets or no meets that you can reasonably get to, then your next best bet is conventions. Conventions are awesome and definitely worth traveling to. They've always got lots of all kinds of interactive going-ons where you can go and meet lots of new people. And since furries are coming from all over to come to this convention, you might be able to meet some of the people you've been talking to online as well, and then start developing a real life friendship out of that. So then the same sort of thing for meets applies, so just make sure they're not busy, and go up and say hi, introduce yourself, use a common interest, maybe talk about some things that were happening at the convention, like, oh, did you see that person at the dance comp? How cool were they? Like, find something just to start a conversation. Just be careful with fursuiters though. Don't take it to heart if they don't want to start like a massive conversation with you, because one, it is very, very, very tiring to talk a lot in fursuit. Trust me, I would know. It's also very hard standing in the one spot and talking because you're also dying. It's better if you're sitting, so if you find a sitting fursuiter, you're a bit better in luck. But sometimes they will just plain ignore you, and that's not always on purpose either, because when you're in a fursuit, you know, I've got like heaps of foam here covering my ears. I can't hear as well as I normally can, and I might also be on my way to the hairless lounge. I'm like, okay, hey, thanks, bye, I just need to go die. So please don't take it to heart if you're having trouble talking to some fursuiters. You'd be better off seeing if you can find them when they're out of suit. So see if you can find the character on their badge or something. If you are still not having any luck in the friend making, then your next choice is online friends. In a previous bottle episode, I talked about furry places on the internet, so make sure you go watch that so you know the websites that I'm about to mention. But when it comes to friend making, I find that Furry Amino is actually the easiest, because it's full of lots and lots and lots of new furries just eager to make some new friends. All you have to do is start a chat room and make sure you have like a cool kind of header to bring people in, like, wow, let's discuss our favorite artist, like something to start a conversation, and people will jump in and be rearing to talk to you. Otherwise, Facebook is really good for making friends. Remember, it is designed for, you know, finding friends, so it is good to use it for its intended purpose. If you're feeling iffy about your real life family and friends knowing that you're a furry, you can actually make another Facebook account that is a furry account. I know lots of people that do that. Just make sure you use a name that sounds realistic, because Facebook seems to be allergic to non-realistic names. Now remember, friendships are not gonna happen immediately, alright? You don't just go, oh, I want a friend. Oh, look, there's a friend now. Like, you need to work on friendships, alright? Don't pressure anyone into being your friend. If they don't message you, or they don't talk to you, they're not being mean, maybe there's something else going on in their real life, or they're just not looking for any new friends right now, alright? Don't take it to heart. Everyone has their own lives, so if you're sending hi every 5 seconds, for 4 months straight and not getting a response, maybe you should take the hint and try someone else. You might be the most amazing, awesome, most perfect person, and that will be the most bestest friend that they could ever have, but nobody is obligated to be your friend. People have the right to talk to who they do and don't want to. One thing that I find a lot of people do is they'll hop on the furry interwebs and be like, oh cool, okay, I like that fursuiter, that artist, that YouTuber, oh, and that dancer's pretty cool too. Alright, I want all these people to be my friends and nobody else. These people must be my friends. Like, it's great that you love them so much that you want to be their friends so bad, but you need to broaden your horizons a bit and step in their shoes for a bit. If they're popular, odds are that you are not the only person who is trying to be their friend really badly, and they will very most likely already have their own set friends and aren't looking for any more friends. So do say hello, but please don't be offended if they're not very talkative back, alright? Again, everyone has their own lives. And please don't just straight up ask them, or well, anyone really, to just be your friend as like an opener, because that's a very, very kind of awkward situation when they don't even know you. Like, hi, I'm a random stranger who has never met you before and you know nothing about me. Can I be your friend? It's still fine talking to people as a random person, but please wait before you ask to be a friend. In fact, don't even ask, it just puts everyone in an awkward position. You'll know when you're friends. And one thing I hear artists complain about a lot is going to an artist and getting a commission and them, you know, being nice, customer service friendly back does not mean they want to be your best friend. It's their job, alright? They need to be nice to you so you're comfortable and you've had a good experience with them in their job, because it's their work. You can still try, but don't keep pestering them for a response, alright? Just give them a quick hello, maybe try a couple times, and if they still haven't responded, they're not interested. The most wholesome, long-lasting, amazing friendships are ones that develop naturally when you weren't even expecting it. Like, you just happened to be in the same place at the same time as them and you just strike up a conversation and you kept talking from there, and then this amazing friendship just exploded and now you wouldn't trade them for all the poppy furs in the world. And that's really all the advice I have to give. Again, it's very hard to give a general thing that's going to work 100% of the time, so please do take everything in this video with a grain of salt and use it how you need it. But how about I'll tell you about how I made all my friends in the fandom. So I was in Melbourne at the time and a brand new furry, and I was really eager to try and meet some new furries and some friends and just people with a common furry interest, but back then I was extremely quiet and reserved and a loner, and I really didn't have any established friends apart from my boyfriend at the time. So I flexed my Google Foo and found some local furry meets through the Australian Fursuiters page, shout out to those guys. I found there was a meet in Melbourne Central every Friday, I think it was, I can't remember. But I was so scared of going, like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm gonna be stuck in this room for the rest of my life, I'm never gonna have any friends. Alright, let's do this. I got there a lot earlier than I should have, but luckily one other guy did as well. And you know, because we were the only people there, we naturally struck up a conversation, started talking about the meat, where we found it, some of the food stuff was around, you know, used the common interests to start a conversation. And he already knew some people who were at the meet, so as people slowly started flooding in, he introduced me to all the people of the meet there, and all those people there introduced me to even more people. And before I knew it, I knew like half the furries in Melbourne. And then I just kept going to those meets every week and building up upon the friendships of the people that I had met there. And then I got to go to my first convention and I got to meet some of the Melbourne people there as well. And then they introduced me to some of the other people. And then those other people from all around the world, they introduced me to more people. And then I got to go to room parties and meet like everyone. And before I knew it, it had just snowballed. And I knew so many furries, like 3/4 of my Facebook were now furry people. And yeah. And this was before I had a fursuit, so you can't tell me that my fursuit was the reason for all this. So that's the TLDR of my stories, but I'd love to hear yours. Tell me how you made your friends of the fandom in the comments below. I would love to read them, and I'm sure the other people watching this video would too. And yeah, that's it for this bottle episode. I will see you next time in the next video, whenever that is. Alright, see ya!